Hey guys, I'm Amit Kumar and welcome to this video in which we are going to talk about data types and output. So in Apex, debug method of system class is used to display output in the log. So it is not just like any other language where we are having simple output on the console. Here we used to give output in the form of execution log, and we do that with help of debug method of system class. For example, if we write system.debug and within the pair of parentheses and within the single quotes, if we pass hello apex, then that statement will display hello apex in the log. Now each debug statement will display the message in a new line. If we are having 3 different debug statements, then all the output will be in 3 different lines. Anything inside the single quote is a string literal, and in Apex, string literals are written in single quotes, unlike Java language where we use double quotes for string. And whatsoever is there inside the single quote will be displayed as it is. Other than string literal, we can pass other literals and variables to system.debug, and we will see that throughout our course. Other than that, we can also pass expressions to the system.debug statement. In Apex, all variables and expressions have a data type. In Apex, these data types are primitive data type, collection, Salesforce object or S object, enum, or any objects. Now, null constant can be assigned to any variable, and if we won't assign any value to them, by default, null will be assigned to them. When we will create methods, methods can return values. Now what are methods, how do we create them, and how do we return values to them is something that we will discuss later down the line. But methods can return values of any of these types or return no value. In that case, we use a different keyword known as void. But a method can return a value of any of these types, or it cannot return any of the value. Now type checking is strictly enforced at compile time, and in case of any kind of type issue, it won't compile at all. So it's pretty much of talk, and now it's time to see the things practically. So guys, here we are in our org, and let's go and open the developer console. Now it happens sometimes the developer console collapses automatically, so you can drag and resize the size of the window, or you can click on this maximize button. Now let's create a new class over here. So we will go to file, new Apex class, and let's name it as hello Apex. Now by default, developer console will provide you a format of creating class. Every class will have this class keyword, will have this public keyword, and the name of the class. The opening and closing braces will specify the starting and ending point of the class. Now within this, you have to create a method, because we can provide statements inside a method only. Now we have already discussed how to create a method in our previous video, but just for revision, here I am creating a method with a name show. So we will provide a name over here. Each method or function will have pair of parentheses, so we will provide these pair of parentheses. Now if we want to pass any value to the method, we will pass inside this pair of parentheses, and if we don't want to pass any value, we will keep it blank. Now each method should return a value, and in case if we don't want to return any value, we will provide void. Now if you want to call this method, you have to make it public. Now there should be a starting and ending point of a method, and that we will specify with this opening and closing braces. So that's all required to create a method. But here I am using one more keyword which is known as static. Now this makes the method calling quite easier and short. We will discuss about static keyword in detail later down the line. Now I am having a method show inside this hello Apex which I can call. Now I can provide statement to give output. As discussed, we use system class and we use debug method of system class to give the output. Now inside this debug method, we can specify any string within single quotes. So here I am providing output as hello Apex, and let's copy paste and let's try to give some more messages. So as you can see, I have given 4 debug statements with 4 different string values. Now how to see the output? As I told you, we see the output in the logs. So we will get the output here in the logs. and how to get the output. For that, we have to call this show method of Hello Apex class, and to do that, click on the debug menu, go to open execute anonymous window, and here we will call the show method. Now we will name the class first, so Hello Apex, then a dot, and then the name of the method, and after that we have to provide a semicolon. So this is how we call the method, and it's possible because of the static keyword. Otherwise we have to create an object of this class. So now let's execute it, and to execute this, all that we need to do is click on this execute button. And now you can see an entry in the logs. Now double click on this and it will provide you plenty of information. While right now none of them is our concern. We only need to see the output, and for that we can go to debug only. There is a checkbox over here, debug only. Just click on it. And now you can see all the output over here. Each debug has given the output in different line. Now as I told you, we can pass literals other than string, and let's do that. So I am passing this 24 in form of integer. So how I am doing that, I am closing this first string over here and opening the second string from here. So here there are two strings. The first string is this one, I am, and the second string is this one, years old. Now I am going to concatenate them with a value. So the first string will be concatenated with the value 34, and that will be concatenated with the second string. So now you can see I have used an integer literal with string literals, and here we have concatenated the value. We will study about concatenation in detail, but now let's see the output. So we will click on debug, open execute. Previous statement is already there, so click on execute. So you can see another entry, and you can distinguish between them as one is unread and the first one was read. So click on this, click on the debug, and now you can see the output is same. You can check that out with these tabs. This is the first debug and this is the second debug. So there is no difference in the output. We can also pass value in form of expression. Like I can pass the same thing as 30 plus 4, and let's save it, and let's go to debug, open execute, and execute another entry. Click on debug only and you will get the same output. Now one point of caution over here. If you will not keep this expression inside this pair of parentheses, then the output may differ. So let's see that. So I have removed the parenthesis. Let's save it and let's debug one more time. Click on the debug only. And now you can see my age is 304, which is definitely not true. And why it is happening? So the reason is, first of all, the string was passed. So I am was passed, and then 30 was concatenated with it. So it become I am 30, and then 4 was concatenated with it. So it become I am 304 years old. So to make sure that this addition should execute first, we are putting it in pair of parentheses. So that marks the end of this video. See you soon in the next video. Till then, thank you and take care.